convey news. Boy, bristle thy courage up. For Falstaff, he is dead, and we must yearn therefore.
Would I were with him, where summer he is, either in heaven or in hell.
Nay! Sure he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom. If ever man went to Arthur's bosom, it made a finer end and went away, and it had been any Christum child. Parted even just between 12 and 1. Even between the turning of the tides. For after I saw him fumble with the sheets, and play with flowers, and smile upon his fingers' ends, I knew there was one way. For his nose was as sharp as a pen, and a babble of green fields. So it bade me lay more clothes onto his feet. I put my hand into the bed and felt them, and they were as cold as any stone. Then I felt to his knees, and they were as cold as any stone. And so upwards, and all was as cold as any stone.
They say he cried out of sack.
Aye, that it did.
And to women.
Nay, that it did not.
Yes, that it did. Said they were devils incarnate.
I could never abide carnation. 'Twas a color he never liked.
I said once the devil would have him about women.
It did, in some sort, indeed handle women. But then he was rheumatic and talked of the whore of Babylon.
Do you not remember? I saw a flea stick upon Bardolph's nose, and he says a black soul burning in hellfire. Well, that's all the riches I got in the service.
Shall we, Shaw? The king will be gone from Southampton.
Come, let's away. My love, give me thy lips. Look to my chattels and my movables. Let us to France, like horse leeches, my boys. To suck, the very blood to suck.
And that's good and wholesome food, they say.
Touch your soft mouth and march.
Farewell, hostess.
The English with full power upon us, hold them carefully in our concerns to answer royally in our offences. You, Prince Dauphin, shall with swiftness dispatch, for England as approaches makes as fierce as water to the sucking of a gulf. Fits us then be as providence upon our fields.
My most redoubted father, it is most meet we arm us against this foe, and let us do so with no show of fear. For my liege she is so idly kinged, her sceptre so fantastically borne, by vain, giddy, shallow, humorous youth, that fear attends her not.
Oh, peace, Prince Dauphin. You are too much mistaken in this king. Question your grace, the late ambassadors, with what great state did he heard their embassy? How well supplied with noble counselors, how modest an exception, and withal, how terrible and constant resolution.
Well, 'tis not so, my lord high constable. For in cases of defense, it is best we weigh the enemy more mighty than he seems.
Think we King Harry strong, and princes, look you strongly armed to meet him. The kindred of him hath been fleshed upon us, and he's bred out of that bloody strain and haunted us on our familiar paths. When all our princes, captive by that black name, Edward, Black Prince of Wales, whilst that his mountain shire, high up on mountain, standing up in the air, crowned with the golden sun, saw his road exceed, this is stem of that notorious stock, and let's fear the native mightiness and bait of him.
Ambassadors from Harry, King of England, do crave admittance to your majesty.
From our brother England,
From him.
and thus he greets your majesty. He wills you, in the name of God Almighty, that you divest yourself, not only the crown, and all wide-stretched honors that pertain unto the crown of France, that you may know 'tis no sinister nor no awkward claim, picked from the wormholes of long-vanished days. And when you find him evenly derived from his most famed of famous ancestors, Edward III, he bids you then resign your crown and kingdom, indirectly held from him, the native and true challenger. or else what follows?
Bloody constraint, for if you hide the crown, even in your hearts, there will he rake for it. Therefore, in fierce tempest is he coming, in thunder and in earthquake, like a Jove, that if requiring fail, he will compel. This is his claim, his threatening, and my message, unless the Dauphin be in presence here, to whom expressly I bring greeting to.
Tomorrow shall you bear our full intent back to our brother England.
For the Dauphin, I stand here for him. What of him from England?
Scorn and defiance, slight regard, contempt, and anything that may not misbecome. The mighty sender doth he prize you at.
Say my father render fair return. For for it is against my will, for I desire nothing but odds with England, and to that end I did present him with the Paris balls.
He'll make your parents' Louvre shake for it. We're at the mistress court of mighty Europe, and be assured, you'll find a difference between the promise of his greener days and these he masters now. Now he wastes time, even to the utmost grain, that you shall read in your own losses if he stay in France.
The natural flies in motion of no less celerity than that of thought. Oh, behold, the threatened sails borne with an invisible and creeping wind draw the huge bottoms through the furrowed sea, holding to course to Harfleur. Follow, work your thoughts, and therein see a siege. Behold the ordinances with fatal mouths gaping on girded Harfleur. Suppose the ambassador from the French comes back, tells Harry that the king doth offer him Catherine his daughter, and with her to dowry some petty and unprofitable dukedoms. The offer likes not, and the nimble gunner now with linstock the devilish cannon touches, and down goes all before them. Still be kind, and even our performance with your mind.
Once more into the breach, dear friends, once more. Or close up the wall with our English dead. In peace there's nothing so becomes a man, as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war